2003 Chevy Suburban 1500. Shift problems. Sometimes you crank it up and sometimes this light's on, sometimes this light's on, sometimes that one's on, and really bad, sometimes that one's on. And it's really hard to get it to go back. You have to put it in neutral and all this crazy stuff. Sometimes turn off the truck and then push buttons until something goes, and then you'll be driving and then you'll get a service 4x4 message will come up here just like that. And so we are going to see if we can solve that problem. Did some research online. If it's not this, you've checked this module here and that appears to be working fine. Looks to be the next step is this guy right here, and I'll show you what that is. Okay, so what that was is it's an encoder ring, and we're under the truck now. You follow the front drive shaft and it goes into the transfer case right there, and this guy right in front of the camera is the motor to that guy right there, which is that encoder is inside of that. So we need to get this off of here so we can replace that encoder, which is sending the signal to the computer of what gear this is in. So in order to get that off, we're going to have to remove this skid plate, and we're going to, I believe, looks like we're going to remove the front drive shaft as well to get to all the bolts. So I'll show you how that goes. Okay, we've got a 15 millimeter for these guys. That's too much work. Okay, with the skid plate off, you can clearly see I can freely spin this as long as everything is disengaged. And I'm going to see if I can get those bolts out and see if I can clear it without removing that drive shaft. Because it appears to me that the transfer case is actually closer if I had to pull this all out, which means it would be in the way of itself and you can't remove that. So yeah, I'm gonna try it. Just when moving this back and forth and not go through the trouble of having to replace these ties and mess with that boot. If I didn't want to mess with that and remove the drive shaft, I would remove those clasps there holding that U-joint in place, drop that, and then cut these bands off this boot, and then that would slide right out. I'm gonna have to make marks just to make it easier for me to put it back in, because everything's been balanced and you want to put it back how you took it out. And I'm hoping to avoid all that, so let's see if we can. Alright, so these are 15 again. Let's Loctite those. At least I hope that's what's going on. Or someone stripped them all the way in. I hope it's Loctite. Oh man. Sheesh, I hope they're not all like that. And the verdict is Loctite. That's fantastic. That means those others that are hard to reach, I'm going to have to really reef on this wrench. That's not going to be cool. Yeah, that's why everyone else is removing the drive shaft. Not hard to break, but he's gonna play the hard to get the whole time too. It's gonna be a long day. Okay, thankfully it wasn't as difficult as the other one, but here's the moment of truth. So it is loose. So I think as long as yeah, we can't pull it out all the way, but it is off. So I think we'll be good there. And we just have one other bolt up top. I don't know if you can see it. I'll point it with my finger up here. Yeah, okay, you can see. Okay, I think. Alright, there we go again. One more time. Okay, we got that one. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. And she did come without removing the drive shaft. So now we gotta unplug it. I'm guessing the plug is up here. Yep, there's the plug. There's the gasket. So I'll push there and pull. Okay, I think you're supposed to be able to push on that tab, but I think it's stuck. So I'm gonna help by putting that in there. Yeah, that's what it was. So that tab lifts the lever which catches on that, but sometimes the plastic is just too spongy and needs a little help. Alright, this is just that plastic rubber gasket in between the two. We've got T15s and T20s on this plastic part. So we're gonna tackle these first. Now you can just buy this whole thing, but it costs quite a bit more than just replacing the decoder. So if this looks like something you don't want to get into, then you can just skip ahead and install a new one. As you might have noticed, I took the liberty to clean this off camera so that it wasn't nasty to work with. So we have a rubber gasket here, which I'm gonna just put back in this housing over here on this side. Okay, we want to pay attention to where this gear is. This gear is over here. We just want to make sure it stays that way. So I'm gonna mark on the housing right where that dot is. See that? See that timing mark right there? So I'm gonna mark where that is. Okay, so there are these two rings, washers. You want to make sure stay, don't lose those. Kind of hard to see. Now we're going to go ahead and lift this gear and get to the decoder on the back side. Just need to slide that off of there. And unplug it. There's your part numbers right there. The new one does look a little different. Same but different. So there's a groove there, and that needs to go sprocket like that. There we go. Now that little knob sets down in there. So I'm going to plug it in first. And then we're going to mesh up our spot without moving anything else. There we go. So we line back up with the spot we were at. And that way that should line right back up with where the transmission is sitting now. Now we just gotta get this gasket back in place. Seems to have grown. I don't understand what caused this. And fit, not scrunch them. I'm not sure what the dealio is here. No, losing ground. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Equal amounts of scrunch. There, equal amounts of scrunch accomplished. I'm gonna put that there, and this little guy here. I'm going to very gently, I'm scared to flip that over, so I think we're going to go this way instead with it. Mutual gravity application. There we go. shorties in the middle, the long ones on the outside. Alright, moment of truth. Put this back on there, don't forget that. And we'll crawl back under there, plug it back in, and hook it back up. Okay. So, I gotta get back in there. Gotta get the gears to line up. There's a little notch in those gears that needs to line up. So, let's see what we can do. Be a puzzle. So, first thing I'm gonna do is plug it back in. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. We don't want to forget to put that guy halfway in there. We gotta pivot that around to that spot there and get that knob over that, and then we gotta get the gears to mesh up. Oh, did it go? I think it went. I think we got it. That wasn't too terrible. Time to get the skid plate back on. Get that off of there. Make terrible noises when you put it back on. Arrgh. Looks like it's supposed to have another bolt, but I don't know where that one is. Okay, let's see what's going on. I can usually make it disbehave pretty quickly. Just by trying to switch it into four-wheel drive. Just like that. It's in four-wheel drive. And the other thing I didn't like is going into auto. I'm hearing it move down there and no issues. I'm not getting a check 4x4 light, and it is very quickly responding. So we'll keep tabs on it, and I'll let you know if that fixed it before closing out this video and posting it. It's been a few weeks and everything's still good to go, still working. So if you were having the similar problems, I would definitely check that out. If you found this video helpful, appreciate it if you click like and subscribe. Thanks.